The Sacramento Kings' hopes of trading for restricted free agent Jonathan Kuminga appear to be fading quickly as they face another holdup in potential negotiations with the Golden State Warriors. Sam Amick of The Athletic noted Monday that the Warriors would have to move Moses Moody or Buddy Hield as part of any sign-and-trade deal with Sacramento, and Golden State has no interest in doing so. The Warriors continue to behave as if Kuminga will still be with the team when the season starts. The Kings had tried to package Malik Monk and a protected first-round pick to tempt the Warriors into trading Kuminga, but the two sides hit an impasse over those pick protections. That alone was a huge stumbling block to any trade. The Warriors have a $7.9 million qualifying offer on the table for Kuminga and retain the right to match any contract offer to him. Extension talks have not yet gone anywhere between the two sides. Kuminga's role with Golden State has wildly fluctuated, and there has been chatter about a poor relationship with coach Steve Kerr. Even if that were true, the Warriors would not want to lose Kuminga for nothing and clearly believe he has significant value as a trade chip that they do not plan to relinquish easily. Well. Here we are again, folks, trapped in another thrilling episode of Will They or Won't They? Warriors Edition. But this time, it's not about whether Steph will hit another impossible three or if Draymond will get ejected before halftime. No, this is the Jonathan Kuminga show, and brother, it's messier than a Chipotle burrito eaten while driving. Tim Kawakami just dropped some intel that's got Dub Nation buzzing louder than a broken air conditioner in July. According to his piece in the SF Standard, the word I got when I checked in with a Warriors source on Sunday, Kuminga won't be traded this summer. He'll be back on the Warriors roster to start the season. And it'll either come when he signs the Warriors offer or accepts the $7.9 million one-year qualifying offer.
Ouch.
That's not exactly the warm, fuzzy feeling you want when you're a 21-year-old with lottery pick expectations and a contract situation that's more complicated than assembling IKEA furniture without the instructions. Let's be brutally honest here. This whole situation feels like watching paint dry, except the paint keeps changing colors and nobody knows what the final result is supposed to look like. Here's the thing about JK that drives me absolutely bonkers. The talent is there. It's right there, staring us all in the face like a neon sign in Vegas. The athleticism, the flashes of brilliance, the moments where you think, damn, this kid could be special. But after 4 years, we're still not sure what we have with High. The front office isn't panicking, they're not rushing, and they're certainly not throwing money at a problem that might solve itself with time and development. But here's where it gets spicy. This isn't just about Kuminga anymore. This is about the Warriors' championship window, their salary cap flexibility, and whether they believe this young core can actually contribute to title number 5. Every day they wait is another day closer to tough decisions about guys like Wiggins, about the luxury tax, about whether this dynasty has one more run left in it. Look, I've been watching this team long enough to know when they're serious about a player and when they're just being polite. Remember Jacob Evans? Remember Jordan Bell? Remember the parade of potential that marched through Chase Center before actually contributing? Kuminga isn't those guys, but he's not Steph Curry either. He's somewhere in that maddening middle ground where you can see the ceiling, but you're not sure if he's got the ladder to reach it. This saga isn't ending anytime soon, which means we're all buckled in for more months of will he or won't he content. Kuminga's got the talent to make this whole discussion look ridiculous in hindsight, or he's got the inconsistency to make the Warriors look smart for not committing. Either way, it's going to be one hell of a ride. Al Horford entered this free agency with plenty of question marks on if he would return to the Celtics, sign with another team, or perhaps even consider retirement. For now, all indications point to Horford likely signing with the Warriors for an opportunity to compete for a championship for the 2025-26 season. However, Horford remains unsigned as the NBA calendar flips into August. Per NBA insider Mark Stein, Horford and other Warriors targets have been held up due to Jonathan Kuminga's restricted free agency. There's been little movement on that front as no team has cap space to offer Kuminga a solid contract. Kuminga isn't the only restricted free agent this summer mired in uncertainty. The Bulls and Josh Giddey, along with the Nets and Cam Thomas, haven't been able to come to terms on a contract yet. There are notable restricted free agents on the market as the summer hits the deeper parts of the offseason. So, It's no surprise to see Horford still remaining unsigned. There have been hints that the big man would end up in Golden State, including from Stephen Curry. While other teams were reportedly interested in Horford's services, he's still expected to land with the Warriors. As the Celtics continue to compete for championships, Horford appeared to be a big part of those plans even as he stacked up the years in the NBA. But with Jason Tatum expected to miss all of next season due to his Achilles injury, that changed the equation significantly. C's President Brad Stevens said he would have loved Horford back, but admitted that likely wasn't in Boston's future. Considering Horford turned 39 this summer, it didn't make much sense for the veteran to be on a depleted Boston squad next season. If and when Horford makes his decision, he'll become the fourth C's rotation player to depart from Boston this summer. The Celtics traded Drew Holiday and Kristaps Porzingis away, plus they lost Luke Kornet to the Spurs in free agency. Horford showed throughout the playoffs that he can still be a contributor even at his age. He can't play as many minutes as in the past, but the effectiveness was still there for the most part. Considering the Warriors have multiple guys like Curry and Jimmy Butler pushing for perhaps one last chance at a deep playoff run, it's no surprise that situation appealed to a veteran like Horford. The Golden State Warriors haven't had a ton of success in trying to resculpt their roster so far this offseason. At this point, the Dubs seem poised to run things back with Stephen Curry, Jimmy Butler, and an island of misfit toys role-player bunch in 2025-26. Recently, ESPN NBA insider Shams Charania spoke on the state of Giannis Antetokounmpo's relationship with the Milwaukee Bucks, stating that there's still nothing set in stone about whether Giannis Antetokounmpo will stay in Milwaukee or whether he'll be leaving. There's been some very real conversations over the last week or so. Charania also noted that there are multiple teams that I know of that are literally waiting right now on what decision Giannis Antetokounmpo makes. Naturally, Warriors fans were hoping that Mike Dunleavy and company were among those interested parties. Every day Giannis' future is in limbo is a bad day for the Warriors LOL, wrote one fan on X, formerly Twitter, noting how the Warriors might hamstring their future in hopes of eventually signing Antetokounmpo. Another tied the Giannis speculation to the Warriors' ongoing contract saga with Jonathan Kuminga. If Giannis wants out in the next few months, Warriors won't be able to use Kuminga to get him, wrote the user. A pipe dream for the Warriors. The Warriors have been tied to Giannis Antetokounmpo in trade and free agency speculation dating back several years now, and at the current juncture, there isn't a ton of reason to believe that this time around it's any more realistic than in seasons past. However, Golden State fans likely can't help but salivate at the thought of Antetokounmpo running pick and rolls with Curry, as Jimmy Butler also stands by waiting to make a play if the defense collapses. Antetokounmpo would also provide some much-needed versatility to the Warriors' defense, which is inherently limited due to the age of some of its stars. In any case, according to Charania's report, it could be more likely now than in the past few months that something actually materializes on the Antetokounmpo trade front. The NBA schedule is slated to be announced later this month.